hear me? Uh-oh. What happened?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. So it's my headset again. Where's DJ Nuba at?
Hey, 1 2 1 2. Having
There
some
you
technical
are.
difficulties back here, but we're
There
good.
Hmm.
We are
We good.
live.
All right. Good morning, and good morning. Woo! First, let
Good
me say
morning.
we are in the month of August, and that's 8 months into the new year. Seemed like it wasn't but a few months ago that we was bringing in the new year. These little 12 months don't last no time, y'all. No time.
Hmm.
So, anyway, today, first of all, hi, good morning, Darius. Today is the day. August 3rd, 2024. We are talking about the black mentality today in starting August 3rd of 2024. It is a topic that needs to be discussed because I, being a black person, can get on record by saying that we have lost our everlasting minds. Like we are I don't even know what to say. I need like a couple of shows. But we're gonna break it down, and it happens to be it flares up more and is more, well, I wouldn't say it's more relevant during election season, but it's more relevant during election season. I'm looking at, like, okay, y'all, yeah, we got to do better. And I've said this in past shows. Black men, black, it's not one gender or the other, it's both black men and black women. We have got, at some point, we as a people we have to elevate this bullcrap that I'm seeing and hearing. This I just want to start because I can go. Where my water at? Listen, this young kid, and let me get my facts. I got my stuff written down. In Florida, who got shot. I don't even know who he is. I guess he have a local Florida rapper. Then got shot and killed by three young people that's involved. All these people be getting ready to they took a $10,000 bounty on this kid. They go, what has this kid? Why is it? I don't even know what to say. But why are we killing? Was it that serious? Now you got three more
You're
lives.
talking about Julio.
Yes, I don't even. Can you?
It,
What does he rap? Does he? I've never seen
well,
this
it's
kid.
actually five now.
It's five plus the two grown ass men that's my age. You need
You're talking.
$10,000 that bad that you willing to kill a kid? And matter of fact, you got that $10,000 is
You're
split up
talking
five
about
different ways.
Julio.
Yes. Who is this kid that all these people want to kill him?
Give me 10 grand. I
Black
need 10 grand
people.
right now in my bank account.
So you mean black people is so infatuated with money that we will pretty much will do anything. We'll do anything. We'll sell our souls. We'll sell each other out. Is it that serious? We running into stores still. How many years it's been? All through COVID, that stuff was happening. We still running through stores, robbing and breaking and stealing jewelries and purses and stuff. What the hell? We have lost our mind. Like, we, as a people, a good large percentage of us then gave up. We just like, you know what? It is what it is. Don't There is no value on life. Was that Pop Smoke a couple years ago where they done went to this dude's grave and was being, you going to people's grave and being disrespectful after you don't had him killed? Like, okay. People always say, "Oh, Janet, it's not just the black people." Okay, is it? Can somebody just give me one more race that's out of control like we are? Just one more. Just give me something. Asian people, Mexican people doing something other or extra more than they normally do. White, well, we already know about the Trump supporters, so that don't count. White people have always been out of control. We had a season of the Karens. Okay, people have races have their seasons. Okay, but we are consistently out of control. Like, I don't even know what to say. That I don't know I don't know the kid. They up in
Yeah.
Florida acting a fool and kidnap all three yet again. Five more lives going down the drain. You know.
Well, everything happens for a reason.
Well, here's the thing.
Go ahead, Darius.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hakim. Here's the thing. Well, I didn't know this rapper. He called himself Fulio. And he got all the big braids. And the background of the story is, I think he rapped about, last year, about when a previous rapper died in Florida. I think he made, I don't know, I'm just paraphrasing. He rapped about that, about karma got him. And then all of a sudden, and for the story I've looked at, listened to, they staked out and knew where he's going to be at, knew where he's going to sit, and they showed the video on Twitter, and they killed him, and it took him a month later.
They got on social media bragging about it, and now you sitting up trying to figure out how you got caught. You helping the laws catch you.
Well,
they up on social media taking credit for all the shit that they done did and how they posted the video and everything. I'm like, that's a form of straight up.
And you think you think the local police and FBI weren't going to listen to that?
Or these young people.
Well, we got to remember something. Julio Fulio. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't get it right.
He was a part of that gang culture. He was in the gang. This is gang beef.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't just some dude rapping and walking in the street minding his own business. He was tied. He had ops, and he was tied to some bullshit. And people on the other side that he was beefing with got murdered, and he rapped about it and put it in his lyrics. And he was a part of that. He had ops, and he was somebody's ops. So yeah, somebody gonna put some money on your head. That is how that works, right? You know, people
right.
People get popped here in Philly for $200. So yeah, you sold 10K out there. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to, you know, it's going to happen. Look at the goofy boy that made national news last month for busting a nut on that girl's leg here in Philly, inside the dollar store.
Huh?
Yeah, the dude in one of the dollar stores jerked off and busted a nut on a girl's leg and ran out the store. I don't know how y'all ain't hear this. Is viral. This made national news.
No, I did not.
I didn't know about that.
And they were looking for him for a couple days, couldn't find him. But Meek Mill put out $2,000. Anybody that can find him or whatever, because he wanted him found. And guess what? The boy knew what time it was. He knew where he was living at, so he went and turned himself in. Because $2,000, a motherfucker had to cut your head off of that.
What?
So, you know, we're living in a different time now to where motherfuckers are mentally and emotionally and spiritually unstable. So the shit that we older folks look at, we looking at them like they goofy. That is their reality. And if we don't start talking to the young folks we can save to give them a counter offer to what the streets is offering them, what's going to be more of this shit? And it ain't going to stop with this Julio Fulio. I mean, with you in the gang life, what you think is going to happen? He's on a song talking about how somebody got murdered. They're on social media talking about how somebody got popped. It is stupidity on top of stupidity, but to them, that's real life. And we got to teach our kids better. We got to teach the young people better. We got to give them better options to stay out of that shit.
What's the option, Hakim? Because the option to me is not going to jail for the rest of your life. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's our generation didn't want to go to jail for the rest of our life. You know.
But see, you're speaking from a logical place that makes sense. It's common damn sense. That ain't present in the minds of the youth that are running around, these 20-somethings, these 18-somethings, these teens. They don't have what was instilled into us, right? They're robots. They're fucking automatons. They're not emotionally connected to reality. They grew up with a cell phone in their hand. right? They don't know
That's
what
the
it's like
problem.
to not. They weren't around when it was time to when we didn't have internet. There was no FaceTime
Uh,
when we grew up.
oh,
We
I
got
remember
our
that
asses up.
era.
We got up. We got dressed. We went to go see the people we wanted to go see. Or we all went and linked up. We had our phones was on a wall growing up.
Right. Right.
These little folks, when you grow up in the world of the internet and technology, it creates a microwave mentality. Means you don't have to wait for anything. And if you don't have to wait for anything, you don't have patience. And when you don't have patience, you don't have discipline. You have no self-control. The slightest thing will set you off. People are getting shot for internet comments.
Mm.
People are getting shot over money. People are getting shot over women. These young dudes are fighting over the same chick and shooting up the whole neighborhood. It's
Mm.
just stupid
Tell me
shit. And
about
then
that.
the girls are actually fist fighting like men used to, and the men are shooting because
Right.
they don't know
Guys
how to
don't fight
fight.
no more. Right. They don't know how to fight.
They don't know how to
Right.
fight. That's why
Can I
you
add
know.
something to this?
Go ahead.
Let me add something to this. If this is true, my I think this is early New Year's, what, 22, 23. I got a call about my cousin getting killed in Tennessee. He was in a relationship with a girl, and another man killed my cousin over that. And here's the thing that nobody wants to mention.
Tennessee.
What about, here's the thing. What about the like in all these young people, and I mentioned this in Sunday school and I teach this. Well, I just talked about discernment. Why are you not? The people don't have, the parents don't even have life insurance just in
Mm.
case their child get killed, but they want to scream, hoop and holler the minute when their son or daughter get killed by police or they do something stupid, then they can't afford to bury it. That's a whole nother show right there.
Mm.
They can buy all the designers clothes and shoes and tablets, phones, and we did a show called Parenting. Now I remember that,
Mm-hmm.
but you mean tell me you don't even have a life insurance policy just in case something bad happens? Well, our priorities are gone.
Do you guys think that these kids, honestly, because this we're of the same generation, do y'all think that these kids are the way they are because we failed as parents? Not all of us, but a lot of us.
A lot of us, some of us, and all it takes is a some, or it takes a lot. Because
Well, yeah, some of these parents want to be their kids' best friends instead of being tough on them from day one.
look, the
That's the
other
problem.
side, when you when you get into their world and you get into their history and how they grew up, it didn't take a lot. You just needed a few who got leadership qualities, who got a loud voice, who got a loud presence, but they on some bullshit. So they become leaders of bullshit. And remember, ignorance will go around the world 50 times before righteousness does. So it's you don't need a lot. All you needed is a good handful to go and fuck up one neighborhood. Because guess what? The one with the biggest mouth, he gets the biggest following. The one that's the most rambunctious, the most ignorant, and the most goofy gets the biggest following. So if he on some bullshit and he out there in the streets, it's 5 dudes behind him today. By next week, it'll be another 10. So next thing you know, he got his whole. He is leading a circle of goofiness, and it looks cool because they're making money, they're dressing nice, they're getting all the biddies, they're getting all the coochie. They riding around in it's the same shit we grew up with when we saw the dope boys in the neighborhood. Now things have changed, and there was rules back then. There's no
Right.
rules now. There was no rules now. When I was a young boy and I was wilding out, the old heads up on the block, like, yo, you need to get from up here. We up here making
Right.
money. Ain't no shooting, ain't no fighting, and you coming up here flipping people in the middle of the street when the bus is coming. You got to get the fuck
Right.
from up here. You making it hot.
Right. Right.
There's
That
no
that
more
and the
old
fact that
heads.
you used to get my brother. I remember the old heads used to tell my brother in New York when we lived in Park Hill, get your ass that street light. Didn't your mama tell you need to be get you need to get upstairs. Get your ass upstairs. You cannot be
Oh
out here past
man.
the street light. The dudes, the older dudes in the neighborhood, you know. And this is in Park Hill where Wu Tang is
Hey,
from. That's where I grew where I'm from. And yeah, he used to and your mama she come home from work and you out here. We already done seen you get hemmed up a couple of times. And my brother was hard at it. Oh man, yeah, get your ass upstairs. Get out of here. you know. So I mean so now it's out of control now, and there is no respect. There is no what do you call respect for life. Nobody's afraid of
no
dying.
remorse.
Nobody can. The the prisons. It's not a. I don't know what's going on in the prisons. Maybe that must be the hit place to be. Like it's okay if I like you. How could you logically know not think that you're gonna get caught or have some dealings be held accountable for putting a hit out on a kid? Like how do you? And then you get up on social media and then you sitting around thinking that you. I mean, are you sitting around thinking that you're gonna get away with it? Or do you want to get caught for doing it? I can't wrap my head around the thought process of these young people,
Well,
young black people.
well, Janet, here's the thing.
And the other part of that is, and I'm gonna say this:
They
why is it just black kids?
Because it's not.
Where is the Hispanic and the white kids is doing this? Why
They're
we don't
going
hear
through the
about
same thing.
that?
But here's the thing. Let's put a pause on that because it's not just black kids. It is the Hispanic and the dirty whites and even the upper class whites who are going through it too. It's not just a black thing.
Why don't we
So
hear about it, Hakim?
because if you want to hear about it, we had this conversation last week. If we have to remove that language out of our lexicon, why don't I hear about it? Go look for it. Say that. That's what we're trying to educate the youth. We got to educate ourselves first. Go look for it because I see it.
Okay,
What's
I'm
sexy
looking.
and what
I haven't seen, I don't maybe I'm not putting the right thing in my search, but I have been looking for some time now. Those stories haven't been brought to me, and a lot of stuff is brought to me, and is a topic of discussion. And then I go look, and I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing
well here,
where.
here's something also to remember. It is normal for you to see the things that is wrong with your people, right?
Yeah,
The Hispanic people, they're seeing what's going on in their communities. The whites are seeing what's going on in their communities. Okay, remember that's why it goes back to the argument of black on black crime. That's bullshit. There's crime because guess what? White people are more likely to make crimes against their own people in their own community. So it's the same thing with the Hispanics, the Asians, the Latinos. It don't matter who you are and where you from or what color skin you are. You're more likely to go after your own people. That is just a fact. That is an FBI fact. That is a state fact. That is a local fact. And that is a sociological and psychological fact. So if we're not seeing it, it's normal for us not to see it because that's not our hood. That's not where we are.
I'm around a lot of Hispanic people, and I have Hispanic friends, and I'm not. These conversations is not being brought to me. Like they're not talking about the things that's going on in the Hispanic. They got their little
Be-
issues, but not like it. Don't seem like we got.
because that's
Like
your community. That's the bubble of people you have around you. They don't talk about it. They made it. Don't because somebody ain't talking about them, they don't exist.
And I'm
I
not
had
saying,
somebody
and
from
I'm not saying that it don't. I'm just saying it's just seem like it's more in the black community than it is in the. You got your white kids and your look at the little white kid, the little 20-year-old that tried to kill Trump. He wasn't from the hood. You got your kids
yeah,
like that. You know what I'm saying? But it is a
yeah.
consistent
yeah.
thing in the black community is what I'm seeing. I'm like, okay, wait, let me go talk to my Asian friends. Let me talk to my. I got 5, 6 coworkers that's Hispanic. Let me. I got some friends outside of work that. And we had sitting down drinking and we having. I'm like, what's going on in California? What? Oh, my cousin, yeah, I'm like, they having quinceañeras and they got their little issue. They
Well,
more worried about what's going on over in Mexico. Like, some parts of Mexico you can't go. Okay, I get that. But in these here United States, the conversations that I'm having with other nationalities is very few about the shit that's going on, like it's going on in the black community with these
but
young
I
kids.
understand something. The things that are happening in the black community and how it has been sexualized through the corporate media and the people who fall for it. Of course, you're going to hear about it because it sells tickets. Of course, you're going to turn around and hear. I swear to God, I sit there and did a show a month ago. There's an area outside of Philly called Delaware County, and the newspaper got called to task because there was a overabundance of reporting of what's going on in the smaller little cities where blacks, were doing what they do. But they completely ignored the big ass war that's going on between the Amish and the Hells Angels, right up there with the crystal meth war,
Mhm.
the cocaine, the heroin trade war that's going on right up here in Delaware County, where there's like 50, 60 dudes out there with guns. No report. You know how we found out? People with their cameras going live on Instagram. So it's happening, and in that town, the people who live there are majority white. They just have a better control over their storytelling and how it gets out, and they got the corporate media on their side. We have to start looking for information because the way it looks, we are the worst,
Right.
and that's done on purpose.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to have black media. That's why it's important to turn off CNN, to turn off MSNBC sometimes. And I say that,
I've been
and I have to
boycotting
hold
those
my
news
breath.
shows.
And I have to hold my breath when I say MSNBC because that's ran by a black woman. You know what I mean? So it's tough, but we have to accept the fact that some of the shit that's out there, it just isn't real. They want you to believe that the black community. Think about it. We only make up 13% of the goddamn country.
Okay, but Hakim, I hear that, and all the news media's, at some point is reporting on all stories, but this stuff that we're talking about and that we know to be true is actually happening. Chicago is off the chain for real.
Yes, of
Like,
course.
and when we're talking about
Yeah,
social
but
media,
Chicago's always
when
in
we're
the
talking
top
about
five for
social
worst crime
media,
every year.
right? That's not those are facts, regardless of what news media reports it. This stuff
No,
that
that's
we
not
see
what
on
I'm.
social media, then you got the people that gets up on social media with all these lies. Black people sitting up here with all these unfaith stuff that they hear from other people talking about, and they repeat the stuff. And you have a lot of people, a lot of young people, grown people too, who don't even watch the news like that, and they get their news from social media or their favorite podcaster, and they actually believe what these idiots are saying.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not saying that it's not a fact. What I'm saying is we have to take the information and analyze it through the proper lens. And
Well, a
and I
lot of
was
us
responding to
don't.
your earlier point of is if it's not happening in other nationalities and other cultures. Yes, it is. Asians
I
have
didn't
their
say
problems.
I
They
didn't say that it's not happening. I said it seems like it is. Our culture is more off the chain. I have researched, I have looked, I have had conversations just this year alone, and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Every now and again, I'm getting a story. Okay, the Amish and the what you call it, you just told me. I'm gonna research that. Okay, they having their issues with crystal meth. Okay, okay. Not that they're not having their issues, but it is like every other month, every other week, these young kids are freaking. And this is half of the stories we don't even know about if Darius wasn't posting them. This is happening in little towns and cities that we don't even know about.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is why it's
Well,
important
here's
to stay plugged in and do your research. That's it.
So
It's an
how
easy fix.
is so we got grown. So we our I had a young person. One of my say my some couple years back, right shortly after COVID. uh, that is my generation that failed these kids. That's why they are. First of all, these are the kids. These are our kids. So my generation now, these are the grandkids that's acting this out of control. Their parents was out of control to a certain degree, but they have taken it to the next level. So let's go ahead and get that straight. So I failed that. We failed that generation, and that generation because we failed that generation failed their kids. That's the belief, and that's an excuse to run around here acting a goddamn fool.
There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse for it. It goes back to some of the conversations I found myself getting thrown in Instagram jail for
Mm.
when like we've been like here in Philly, we've been having for the last year or so
Mm.
two, three, maybe 500 kids gathered in one space.
Doing
Right?
what?
They're not breaking windows. Just sometimes they have meetups,
Okay.
and it turns into a big ass parade. The cops is out. The traffic is jammed. And the first thing we see in the comments under these videos is where are the parents? They're at home or they're at work. When you were a fucking kid and you were running the streets, your mom and dad ain't know everywhere you went. Did that make them bad parents?
What's wrong with the kids hanging out on the streets? They're not.
no.
If they're
No,
not killing
because
each other, you can.
sometimes because sometimes it's disruptive to the neighborhoods.
Oh.
When you got 500 or 600 kids walking through your neighborhood, you got to go out there and pick up that trash. And what's going to happen when ops bump into each other? Okay, 500 or 600 kids turn into a fight. Some one fight can turn messy, and then guns get drawn. You know what I mean? So yes, it is a potential to be a bad thing. So the argument of blaming it on the parents, we got to get out of that because these kids are not slow, they're not stupid, they're emotionally unstable. They know how to do every goddamn thing else. So you telling me these little fuckers don't know I should not pull a gun, I should not shoot? No, they know it, they just don't care. So we got to get out of this thing of
But
blaming
it
the parents.
goes
Guess
back.
what? I grew up in a two-parent home. My parents were amazing to me. I was still an asshole. I was still a dickhead running the
Yeah.
streets doing stupid
Some of the
shit.
some of these little white kids is running around here. They got they come from a good household too, and look at them. You know,
Yeah,
Hispanic culture too. It's not necessarily just your parents. Is the reason why you fucked up. You know,
yeah. It had nothing to do
that's
with
an
the.
excuse.
Yeah, I can see if you grew up in an abusive home, or you one of your parents or both of your parents has become a drug addiction, or you had just a parent that just didn't give a shit about you. Okay, I can understand that, but that is still a fraction of the whole. We can't blame a whole generation on parenting. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's their excuse. And even our generation, if we had a parent, we got kids, a lot of kids coming out of growing out of CPS care, or parents was never around, gave them up for adoption or whatever. That don't A lot of them kids, when you go back and a lot of successful people, some successful people have come from that history of a childhood like that, and they use that as motivation to have a better life. So that's not an excuse, you know. Um, I got some information here about the this is where did this come from? I'll get to you where it says the American Black. I forgot to see where it come from. But anyway, this is a statistic. The recent killings of three black people in Jacksonville, Florida, has drawn attention to a grim reality that researchers have long documented. Black Americans are the most frequent victims of racially motivated hate crimes in the United States. A new report released Tuesday confirms that the trend showing that black people were targets were the targets of more than one-fifth of all hate crimes reported in major US cities last year, the highest share of any group. This is stuff I'm talking about. The report based on the police data analyzed by the Center of Study of Hate and is of at California State University San Bernardino Nido found that the hate crimes targeting Black people fell by an average of 6% last year, after surging in the previous 2 years. Um, but the trend was not uniform across the country, and many cities and states reported their worst numbers ever. This is the studies that they're doing at the universities that I'm researching and looking at. Like what? That's
Yeah, no,
I'm not just getting that from no news. I really don't on the news.
no,
They really don't report
I'm
that. To be honest with you, they should.
I'm from I'm familiar with that report that you're citing from that study. Look at that last statement that you read. Last year, meaning 2023, the numbers went down. It was which was from the surge from the previous 2 years. One of those 2 years, who was in charge?
Yeah,
You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
by the time Biden took over and set a new agenda and changed the rhetoric that was being put out across the country, a lot of the hate of Black people, which is committed by white folks and some Latino folks who think they're white. Talking to you, Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin.
Hmm.
You know,
Zimmerman should
we
still be in jail right now.
yeah. So we had a person that's running the country who's spewing hate every fucking day. So of course they're going to have hate. Hate crimes went up the minute Obama left office because they were mad and they were angry that a black man was running the country, and then you got this asshole who was mad and angry that a black man was running the country, catered to them
And he
and was
didn't care.
hiring them for personal security. How about that?
Hmm.
You know how many campaign events was going on that the Proud Boys was getting jobs as security? That these the kind of things that go unreported. So when you have hate hate lovers and militias and these right wing racist nationalist people who hate everything black, Jew, and Asian and Latino, anything that's not a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, they fucking hate.
The last
And
part of
Donald,
that The last part of that says Jews come in second last year with
yep,
16% of the hate incidents, followed by gay men with
yep,
12%, and white people with 8.5%, according to a national report.
yep. That is that is what it is. And who are these crimes committed by? The Pell Man. He hates every fucking thing but himself, and sometimes he hates himself too. Go ask January 16th. January 6th, I mean.
Oh yeah.
That was
And
white man
talk
going
about
after a
all
white
the
man.
people was out there.
Yeah, think
And you
about it.
still got all the
Go ahead, Darius.
oh yeah. And you still got them idiots in jail for what happened for January 6th on, oh, let's go up there to stop the steal. And we're gonna make sure Trump gets back in office. Yeah, when the FBI knocked on your door in less than 12 to 24 hours and you're going to be in jail serving time, guess what? Now you got buyer's remorse.
So my thinking is this, you know, it's a known fact, and us in our community, we know this to be true, and and a lot of us don't know why we are the way we are in regards to this, but basically black people, the black on black crime, is what we're about to talk about next. Black people for histories, and we can go, because a lot of this young generation don't know their history. We just hate each other. We really have a problem with each other. The first time we get a black president, he's not. How is it that he's not black enough, or he's not black at all? How is it that black people are running around this country which is a country that's not theirs, by the way, claiming that a black man, that's his father, he can't. You just don't get no blacker than Africa. That he is not black. How are you sitting up talking about Kamala Harris is not black? Every time somebody black gets up there or is elevated, black people are running around here talking about they are not. We have racism. You want the white people and other nationalities to show us respect, pay us reparations, give us something, and all this kind of shit. You don't even have enough respect for each other. If I was a white person, I'm like, why would I give you anything? You don't have enough respect for your own people. It is fucking embarrassing. To me, it is embarrassing to be a black person to see black people sitting up talking about somebody's not black. You know, regardless of if it's a woman or a man, the two, they're not black. That's all. It doesn't matter if Kamala Harris was the best vice president in the whole wide world. Black people are saying that she is not black. It's embarrassing and it's disgraceful and it's a form of ignorance. We talking about we deviating from the young people because young people don't even give a damn about the politics like we. These OGs is up on social media talking about she ain't black. That's crazy.
Well,
And it's gonna continue. As one girl got on there, I forgot she's Kylie, I'm bad with names, on Instagram. She's like, man, listen, I'm gonna take a break from social media because, and I was feeling her. She had this long. She said because every time somebody black is trying to do anything, we want to start pointing out what they didn't do and pointing out what they, all this about the fact that she's married to a white man and all this kind of stuff. It's just and it's black people that's saying you can't even be mad at white people that's repeating it. Trump got his dumb ass up there repeating what black people say. Anything he'll
well,
say,
no, no, no.
anything.
Wait.
He'll do anything to win. You know.
Well,
But the
that's
point
the
I'm trying to
thing.
make is it's embarrassing and it's disgraceful to see black men on social media. And just so you know, black men, so in case you don't know, a lot of us black women already know your type. You come from camp. What's his name? The guy that passed away. You're on social media. More than likely, somebody then did you. Some black woman then did you wrong, and now you up here spewing all of this hate towards black women. It's when you need to be talking to a licensed therapist. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody jumps on the bandwagon. Oh yeah, we've all. Guess what? We've all been hurt. The black women, the same thing. You up on social media talking about black men, and you've been hurt. You've been hurt. We hurt each other. That you need to go get some help. You need to go get some help. You
Well,
all up on social media talking about uh, uh, just awful things. Meg the Stallion got up there. They were talking about. They start referencing her to the fact that she's the reason why the dude Tory Lanez is in jail. All this just disgusting
un,
hate. That ain't got nothing to do with the girl performing at the show. When Taylor Swift was gonna perform, it wasn't nobody other than them talking about he ain't got no body, yeah, or whatever. It's just a really disgraceful how my generation and older. Did you see Jim Joe, the Judge Joe Brown, Joe, what's his name? Sit up
Judge
there and
Joe
call,
Brown. Yeah.
sit up there and call
Judge
Kamala
Joe
Harris all
Brown.
kind of hoes.
I heard
Seven.
that. I turned it off.
Oh my God, I couldn't
Seven.
believe it.
Let me jump in real quick because you hit some great points. Let me start off with Judge old angry right wing Judge Fuck Brown. He's a Republican, and if he didn't have a TV show, you wouldn't know who he was.
Facts.
Um, he is a old, angry, bitter, white, right wing person, and I lost count after seven because I know it's more. But in the last 2 weeks, he's done 7 interviews, and out of the seven, damn near all of them were black podcasters or black streamers who just look for a reason to hate a black woman.
Yeah, yeah.
This dude talks about her genealogy because that's the argument, her genealogy. Who was her daddy's daddy and where they come from? But we all got white people in us through slavery.
Sure do. I know I do. Yep.
So unless you did the 23andMe or 21 Century or whatever the fuck it's called to go get your DNA checked, just assume we all got it in us.
Right.
Unless you came from
Yeah.
Africa, literally.
Right.
But
Oh
he
man.
goes after her dad, who's a Jamaican, who talks about his dad was on record for talking about his history and how a plantation owner came to Jamaica and set up shop, and that is his foreparent, right? Then mom is from Hindu. I mean, she's not Hindu, but she's Indian, but she also went to Africa and all this other shit. The goal is to make her come from other. Now, where are black people getting this shit from? They got it from the conservative party because they started doing that way back.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
called birtherism. Donald Trump is the father of birtherism. How? Because he's the first one to start it with Obama,
Sure did.
saying he's not a
Yeah.
real American. He's not from here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying it before he even ran for president. He was saying it when he was a part when John
When he was
McCain
president,
and
right.
Obama was going at it.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the background saying it then. He was
Yep.
calling to conservative radio stations saying it,
Yep.
using a fake name.
Yep.
We knew. I mean, and McCain, for all his faults, he did correct that. No, this guy's a good man. He's not a Muslim. He's not from other. He's an American, and that's what they do to us. And where do we get it from? We get it from social media because who's putting it in there? The conservative party and the Russians. Elon Musk, I can't stand that racist white piece of dog shit, but he just
Right.
shut down hundreds of fake Twitter accounts because he found out they were Russian bots who were targeting the black community with bad misinformation. Our community suffers from three major things: overall
Willie Lynch
ignorance,
syndrome.
miscommunication, and miseducation. It is so easy to trick motherfuckers when you got guys out there like Dr. Umar, when you got guys out there like Joe Brown, when you got guys out there like well, all the rest of the people who are talking, not talking about policies,
Right.
not talking about shit that's going to make your life better or fix some shit going on in your life, but worried about what somebody declares themselves. She don't even. I even saw I was on the Shade Room page 2 weeks ago, and they were going. She don't even consider herself a black woman, which is absolute bullshit. When
Bullshit.
she said it to Charlemagne's face in 2020,
Sure
that
did.
as I'm a black woman, I'm always going to be a black woman. I've always been a black woman. So
Yeah.
basically, when a Jamaican man moves from Jamaica to here in America, we don't consider him a black man. He's
Right.
brown.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
You,
That's what I said.
it,
That's so. That I'm like, man. And you people are first. You think I'm thinking you he gonna at the end of somebody saying that on social media. They're gonna say, "Nah, I'm just kidding." They are dead ass serious. They actually. It's
Well,
like
they
it's like
suffer
talking
from the
about a
Willie
black.
Lynch syndrome.
Is what?
These some of these black people they're so that they suffer from the Willie Lynch letters.
Yeah.
How he divided the black people from like in the late '60s and '70s and still carrying on today. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah, I mean, we come from that, and it's just getting worse, and it doesn't matter. Black women, they just have to, they ain't right. We got our issues too, but these black men hating the way they are is really. It looks like, and I was having a conversation with another group of black women, about three other ladies. It looks feminine. When I see a dude up on social
Well,
media hollering, constantly bagging a black woman, a black person, even if the female is, trifling or whatever the case may be, the fact that real grown ass men don't sit up there and get on social media and bag, talk about a black woman like that way.
yeah.
let
All
me
right.
play
Listen.
devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate.
So those of you who are listening, who's gonna listen, just know that you're being perceived as someone that may be a little paused, and you get. First of all, we come from men don't sit up and gossip like that. You know what I mean? Like amongst each other in the barber shop is one thing, But for men to be constantly sitting up talking about black women the way they do, we look at you as if you might be, a little pause. That's a little bit feminine. That's what black women do. We do that. We gossiping. Girl, let me tell you about, oh girl, hate on each other or whatever, envy each other, whatever the case may be. Men ain't supposed to do that. But you want to sit up and expect for somebody to show you some respect and give you and follow you and all this kind of thing. If I had a man that did that, we wouldn't be together. That's you looking you doing more than what I would that I don't get up on social media bagging on my, even though I know we ain't right, we all ain't right. All nationalities, human beings ain't right. That don't make it okay for you to get up and display your hate, you know, as a
Well,
grown ass man. I know you got some daughters around here somewhere, right? So when you talking about Kamala Harris
here,
and all these black women, the young girls is not out here twerking and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure your child is in that mix too, you know, and stuff like that. So
let me play
it just
devil's
you
advocate
need to
on this.
know that that's how black women perceive you. You are that one, you know.
Here's the thing. I keep mentioning this, and I know I'm gonna get pushback. When VH1, BT, when they put all these little reality shows out, the first they it just I remember watching, like, was it Flavor of Love, I Love New York, and then you got Love and Hip Hop.
Mm.
All them shows, and they put out violence and people acting the fool. And you see the same thing out here in these communities across the country. Who's to blame?
Yeah, that's
All
a whole
like
nother
all the like these VH1, they about making money. Then like when they have reunion shows, that oh we don't advocate, we don't condone the violence on the shows. I say yeah you do. You post it on there. So what's the
they,
difference?
they started scaling
Y'all
back a little bit when they
they're the
started getting
main.
lawsuits. When Nene Leaks we got that lawsuit against Bravo, they started scaling back a little bit on them. They don't really want us out there. Before it was like, oh, this is black people gonna watch black people fight. Black people gonna watch black people tear
That's
each
my
other down.
whole point.
And then when Bravo got that big ass lawsuit, oh yeah, they started scaling that shit back. Like
Well,
they trying to stop it.
here's the thing that we want to remember. This Darius is makes Darius' point makes me think about the discernment issue. We don't know good from bad no more.
No,
We don't know good people from bad. We don't know good food from bad. We don't create that shit. They create it for our consumption. Now the other side of it is when you go and look at other channels that's creating bullshit, there is white people over there got their own version of it. Go watch TLC for a good 2 hours. You're gonna see all kinds of goofy shit and
yeah.
fighting and white trailer park
Yeah,
trash
that's
over there.
about ratings,
But you know what?
but
You know what
You
I
all
know,
feel
money
like.
ain't
You
good
know what I
money.
feel like, Hakim. I feel like that. I feel like that they just like they doing that because they see that we getting the bag for doing it. That's why I feel because white people when I used to watch reality
But
shows, New York
Janet,
and all that, they wasn't doing all that at first. The New York Housewives, I
well,
used to
all
watch the
money
Housewives when
ain't
it first
good
came
money.
out. It's not. But I'm just
well,
saying now white people are starting to put it. Listen, if what you call it said, one of the girls that on the Atlanta Housewife, if why she got kicked or what's her name? What's the name from Facts of Life? They put her off the show because she wasn't bringing no enough drama.
yeah,
Tootie, what was her name? I
yeah,
call it Tootie. They put off the show. She did an interview. Said because I wasn't with that drama, I went back to acting, like some real acting, like I wasn't
yeah.
with that drama. They said I
Because
was boring.
we got to remember something. All that's some Jerry Springer bullshit. And we got to remember when his show first came out, it was geared to white people because he wanted to tap into the Ricky Lake crowd,
Hmm.
right? And he
And
had
don't
those white
forget the
trailer
Maury
park
show.
trash up there. But Maury was a different thing. But I'm talking about where people are busting out fake fighting and
Oh,
shit
I
like that.
know.
Hmm.
He started off with the trailer park trash, and then he started
Yeah,
sprinkling black people in it.
yeah,
That's when we found out everything was fake because we had the attorney general go after Jerry Springer and say,
yeah,
listen, why
yeah.
am I turning on the TV seeing open fights and there's no arrest coming from it? Why are you not
Right.
calling the police? And he had to admit that it was fake
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it was staged.
So they
and
start
it's
having
scripted.
counseling and people talking to marriage counselors
They
and all
got
that kind of
paid to
stuff
act a
after.
fool.
Yeah,
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 so so when because reality shows has always been a white person thing. And
hmm
if you go watch some of them older white joints, they had their version of toxic. Every so often, somebody get up and try to slap a bitch, but it wasn't full on what we had for us. So the
right.
way they cater this shit for our consumption, it is the full on fake booty bitches reaching across the bar or throwing water in their face and or fighting in the house.
Yeah.
White people had that. Everybody has their own form of toxicity. It's all goofy shit. It's all ignorance,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to be able to discern that. If you're gonna watch it, okay, cool. But some people are watching this shit and running outside thinking they can do that shit.
Right, right.
That's
Whatever
my
Be
gets
whole
quiet.
point.
views, now with social media, whatever gets monkey see, monkey do. If you slap the shit out of somebody and go viral, guess what? I'm about to slap the shit out of somebody. I want to go viral too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just that simple and dumb. You know, it's all
And
about
then
it's
you,
fueled by
and
money.
it's feel, but like I said, like I remember, like I think when Lisa Ray played that role in the Players Club, said all money ain't good money,
Right, right,
and
right,
it goes,
right.
and it goes back to what I said earlier. You got all these, they do that for money, but at the same time, when you see all these young kids, 14, I'm like I said, I'm a Sunday school teacher for people that don't know. I teach Sunday school. I'm reaching out to the 30 and younger generation.
Mhm.
They be acting. I said, why y'all acting the fool over some stupid stuff? And then the minute you get killed over something stupid, your family got to pay for. They got to sit in the front pew during the funeral, and they probably can't afford it because they don't have a life insurance policy.
Yeah, they know. You know what?
And
I
they
know
be just
that
sitting there
these
crying
kids
like,
know.
what could we done different? I said, no. Once again, it just like I said, I'm gonna give y'all this little stat here. I know it's gonna hit home. Don't you know funeral homes across the country been making more money from what we've been doing to each other?
Yeah, yep, that's a fact.
Now think about that.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
think about that.
They don't
And
care.
then, and you got these mothers out here and sometimes father they be crying like my son was a good child and he didn't deserve to get shot. He didn't deserve this. Well,
Yeah,
I said I'm at the Abcast said it's time. They said enough's enough.
yeah.
I said
It's
I'm.
done.
I said we got young people are dying too soon over. And I said this. I said why are young people are in a hurry to go to the cemetery? Why are you in a hurry? You got a lot to live for.
Well, a
Come
lot of them
on.
feel like they don't. They feel like they ain't got nothing to live for. What I got to lose, or whatever, playing the violin, or whatever the situation is, and it's just like they don't care. You know, they know about jail, even if their parents are not telling them right from wrong. They know, you know, and they just
Yeah.
don't care. And that's mind-boggling to me. Don't you want to do something with life? Has no value from what I can see for young people. And what's disgraceful is you see some people, some OGs acting a damn fool too. Some people up past, that's older than that, just acting a damn fool too.
I I remember. I think we just had an arrest here in Dayton where our crime rate. Uh, it was a man that killed a pregnant girl and a man in a neighborhood locally here, and they just found him in Cleveland just I think last week. So they've been looking for at least a month or two, and they found him in Cleveland, and he got murder charges out the roof.
Mm,
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy everywhere. Um,
it is.
and here's the good news. Um,
Please, we need
there
some.
is crime is down overall
Hmm.
compared to last year. Crime is down. It don't feel like it, but it is. I don't care if you're from Philly, Chicago. Every place is reporting that this particular date. When you touch the calendar and you go back a year, the numbers then ain't the numbers now. It is down by double digits in most places. Now I get it doesn't feel like it, but feelings are not facts.
Hmm.
right? It's not a fact. The facts are that the number of people that they haul in, that they bodies they pick up is not the same as last year. The other thing is we got to remember there's still a small percentage out of the overall black population. We're not talking about everybody. We're not talking about even half. We're talking about a fraction of people who are out there fucking off on life.
Right, right.
Where the rest of us are getting up, going to work every day, handling our business, taking care of kids, cleaning up, doing what the fuck we supposed to be doing. So it's
Yeah.
not all of us, it's some of us. And as far as the youth, I mentor a lot of young black kids. You know what I mean? I'm working with a young lady over there in your neck of the woods, Darius, where she wants to start her own catering business. I'm doing her paperwork for this week. I
Okay.
just did paperwork last week for a young lady over here in near Philly in a little town called Darby. 2 weeks before that, I helped a young brother start his little clothing business here in Philly. So there are some young people who ain't about that goofy shit. They want to
Right.
do more.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
That's why I try to link up and join some of the men programs here for mentoring and give my little expertise. Even with my health issues, I'm still trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is every person, if you are a grown adult person
Mm-hmm.
and you know somebody young, if it's nothing more than being an ear or being a voice of wisdom to them, do that shit.
Yeah, I do. And I start with my
Yeah.
nephews and nieces on a regular. I'm always checking in with their ass, and they all trying to,
Right.
they approaching, they in their early 30s now, late 20s. But yeah, and then I got some baby ones that I'm constantly, it starts there. It starts
Yeah.
with the family members and then my godchildren. So yeah, you got to have those
Because
conversations, you know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
at some point I'm going to start my own mentoring program, me with my business partners. But in the meantime, I'm freelancing it. I'm doing it one. I'm currently dealing with 8 young kids from 25 on down to 16 because that's all I can handle. Right. And everything from business to financing to they want to do something with themselves. And I'm a parent of 3 young black men. So you want to throw them in that the number goes to 11.
Mhm.
So it's we got to be able to share what we learn. We got to be able to help them navigate this crazy shit that's going on in the world. And if they got dreams and passions, that's a seed. We got to be the water for that. We got to help them.
That's right. And so talking about
Yeah.
it and not trying to, everybody do a little bit, and it will become a lot of bit. Everybody do, what you can. Just sitting up on social media talking about it and don't got no resolve, or not trying to take a few people. Start with your own nephews and nieces, your own damn kids, and start there.
Yep.
It's just it makes no sense that somebody's not saying it, and because we don't know and it's not documented here or whatever research. To shout out to those who are. Shout out, there's people, there's unsung heroes that is having these conversations, that is looking out for their nephews and nieces and got they foot on their kids' neck. You know what I mean? We just not reporting on it because we don't know them personally. But I knew there's obviously, like you said, it's some people out there that's doing it. So
Yeah.
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 And even social media isn't all bad. You know what I mean? I have multiple pages on Instagram and on TikTok, and I got some where I don't see anything negative.
Hmm.
All I see is black businesses on one and
Hmm.
sports because that's the interest of that page. And the other one is where I know I want to roll my sleeves up and get and fight with the messy people. That's where I'm going to come across a Dr. Umar or one of these so-called black intellectuals who.
Woke woke people.
Well,
Well, no, I'm not going to put it. Wait,
I
I'm not
get
going to put
more.
it on
I
woke
get
people.
majority of my news on Instagram now.
Yeah, because I'm not going to put it on woke people because that shit ain't woke.
No.
And the black conscious community is what we got to leave that woke shit alone because the Pell Man got a hold of woke and declared war and they're using it in their own conversations.
Sure enough. Yep.
right? Go
About that.
ask DeSantis down there in Florida, where he has a whole bill called the anti-woke bill or some dumb shit. And then
Hmm.
he gives press conferences talking about this is where woke comes to die. And then he
Yep.
launches a goddamn whole war with Disney.
Yep. And pulling the shit up out of that woke is what making these kids want to learn about slavery. It ain't our fault. First of all, it's history.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
history. Why would you want it? We could
You
sit up and
can,
talk
hey,
about every other history of this country. You know,
yeah.
it's history.
Because
Why
it's
aren't you? I know we learned it in school. What is the problem?
yeah, because we have to be educated, and we have to do a better job at um, sharing our information with our children, pointing them in the right direction. Because guess what? They're looking up everything else. They're researching everything that they care about. But if you are in a black home and you're not talking to your kids about black shit, then yeah, you are kind of part of the problem.
Hmm.
You
First, you
know?
gotta know
be
too.
part of the
You gotta
solution.
know. You gotta know. You gotta care enough to go see what the hell, stay up on what's going on, so you can. So when your kid come in and ask you a question about something, you will know where to point them to or what to tell them. I don't know, or I ain't heard that, or whatever, or acting like you're not interested in those. And that's why they out here doing what they're doing, or looking for answers the wrong way you know and so if that's a form of where as they say that we dropped the ball, maybe so. Everybody's different, everybody's household is different. I know my mom taught me at a young age, growing up, and molded me into making being a serving the military and things like that she did 24 years. She put me in that mindset to know what's going on with the government, what's going on in that you need to vote. And if you don't, and this is what happens, like, but my mom did that. So I grew up having that conversation. And what we tend to do is be around people that's like that, like-minded people. I don't want to talk to, and one of my friends said, I don't want to talk to nobody that don't vote. No, you supposed to talk to them too. I don't got no problems with debating nobody, or having a conversation about. I'm not. The objective is not to change your mind. It's always interest. I learned this growing up, being up in my age, that this other people's perspective on a situation in politics, whatever it is always interesting to me. Does that mean that you changed their mind or they changed your mind? No, but to hear what their perspective is, looking at a situation that's different than yours, is always interesting. You know, and
Yeah,
so I
debate.
challenge you, right? I challenge you to have those conversations, talking to young people. I'm talking about young people.
Hmm.
I told my niece, I said, back in my day, having a kid out of wedlock, that was a no no. If your kid was
Oh
out of
yeah,
wedlock, you was, what was the word your baby was called? A bastard. That's a bastard child.
yeah,
She said, bastard. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. And they just don't know. Nobody never told her what bastard meant back in the. It still means the same thing. It's just, it's not something that we honor anymore. And things
Yeah,
like that.
because there was a Eurocentric concept that is no longer in play because guess what? They start having too many bastards, so they don't even address it no more.
Right. It is
They
just
were
like,
having the same problems that the problems that we saw in the black community as older people and as our moms and dads was getting on us, babies out of wedlock and blah blah blah. Those pale folks was having it double and tripled in us. That's why a word like bastard has no meaning anymore. Now that's just a curse out point. That's just
right.
something you just throw at somebody,
Right.
right? It doesn't have the same meaning because their reality is there are more babies being born out of wedlock. They're having abortions at an all time high. That's what all this anti abortion shit is about. It ain't about us. We are a goddamn fraction of the shit that's going on with those pale folks. They are having fertility issues. They are devolving and degenerating, and they're trying to save their people.
Hmm.
So they're trying to stop certain things. So
Hmm.
we have to always keep that in perspective when it just when your resources is limited and your information is geared to be negative when it comes to your desk, and there's nothing but lies and toxicity that's being poured through your how you consume information, it's always going to feel worse for us.
Yeah.
And in many aspects, it is worse for us.
Yep.
But don't get caught up in the kabuki theater. That's all I'm telling you. You know what I mean? Because there's always been an argument, well, black on black crime. There's crime is crime. It's just since that shit is right outside our door, it hits us differently. But the Pell Man going through crime too. He just don't want you to know it. He wants you to think that his shit is okay. But that devil over there raping, chopping up, attacking black people, he doing all that shit. We just have to be aware and be ready to do something and make some goddamn changes on our end.
Well, we've had to break some stuff down, and we actually need 5 more shows because black people we got some issues, and I want to end with this. Like, what's some solutions, Darius, that you can come up with that we can start doing to for as a for not individually as a, for our people. Like, what aside from having a conversation and talking about it, like what can we do?
Well, I'm racking my brain on that because, well, the first thing we had at my church, we did a prayer breakfast for men's prayer breakfast,
Mm,
and we talk about the issues that's going on with like the black men and what start with that.
mm,
Maybe I would say have like a maybe take them to like a local. Yeah, I know if they like sports and take them to an event, and just mentor and talk to them one
Mm-hmm.
on one of like during the game or say this is or what the judge used to say, take you to a place where you don't want to go at an early age. And my way of thinking, like if I had it my way, I'd take you to an average funeral of someone having to bury a loved one and see where your life would end up if you're the way you're going.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's some solutions. It's just it- it's just how you approach it.
Hmm, hmm.
I agree. What's your solutions, Jan?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I think that it starts with black men. Black men need to know that black women still love them, and that it is not we're not as bad as you think we are. One of the things is I know that there's a lot of black men right now because we're talking about black men, but it's also black women. But we talking about they that need therapy, that need to that's been hurt, some from their own biological parents, some from prior relationships, even this go as far as saying maybe their kids, and they are out here on social media displaying that hurt and that pain by showing how much they hate black women. And I say that because I see it and I feel it when I see black men having the conversations that saying the things that they're saying. So my thing is it is okay. We are evolving. We should be evolving as a people and we are not. It is okay to go seek counseling and talk to you. Going to seek counseling is a private thing. It is not something that you need to announce on social media or let your whole family know. I need to go talk with somebody about the way that I feel or the stuff that I went through, experienced, because I'm not handling it the right way. That doesn't take away your manhood. That's self care. Go talk to somebody. Just because you had failed relationships in the past and you walking around here, you missing out on life because or the relationships because you haven't went and got healed from past relationships and getting up on social media talking about how awful black women are and how we got our problems, but you sitting up here talking about it consistently, sitting on podcasts and hating, show this is so obvious, hating black women that you
It's
don't even
called
want
the
to date
Kevin
them no
Samuel
more.
syndrome.
Right. You
It's
need
the
to go get
it's
you
the
some
Kevin
help.
Samuel
Don't
syndrome.
go find a whole bunch of other black men that's been hurt by black women, and get make a group about it and get in the group and start talking, so tearing down black women, you're gonna find yourself 56 10 15 years from now, old as hell, still with that pain, bitter and lonely, because you still did not get help for the hatred and the mistreatment that you received in a relationship that you had by a black woman. That's my it starts with the black man, and that's the head of the household. If you don't go get no help, the rest of the household is not going to make it. And that right there, you're not going to. If you're doing that, then you're not, then that tells me that your relationship with your own biological daughter is probably not good either. You know. So and that's a
Well,
general statement. That's not a individual statement. That's my take on it.
well, my solutions. I've actually been working on some of the things that I've identified decades ago, and I'm finally in a position where I can do a little something. Um, Providing proper education, proper information, provide support systems for the youth that want to do something with themselves. Um, Adults who want to start a business, want to get in certain fields, providing resources and helping them get where they're trying to be. And leadership and joining other black organizations for the brothers. Link up with organizations with other brothers, right? If you're here in Philly, there's a good brother by the name of Solomon Jones. He has a organization called Man Up PHL, where they're going into the schools, where they're talking to the youth, where they're taking them to do little certain things. And they have programs where they can earn a stipend to do stuff for the community and do enrichment programs. Let me say it again, enrichment programs where they can enrich themselves and feel good. There's brothers like Michael Core, attorney Michael Core, who writes for the Philadelphia Tribune, has an organization called Attack, which is Avenging the Ancestors Coalition, where he is going out talking to the youth and brothers who are his same age, and they're going out reviewing the history, focusing on black and black issues, right? There is so many things out there that you could be doing to show leadership in your community. Something, the small shit. Think about it. Go outside, walk down your steps, look up and down your block. If you see trash, then you're already fucking up. Be the block captain. Go out there with some trash bags, grab your sons or your daughters, and go out there and clean the block up. Ask the neighbors to come out to help you. Because statistically, the blocks that are the cleanest, and they figure this out in Baltimore, areas of Chicago, and they're trying to do it here in Philly. That's why you hear the mayor trying to push that block cleanup, because blocks who are the cleanest statistically has less crime.
Really?
Yes. Blocks who tend to get up every Saturday or every other, or pick a day a month or whatever and clean up their block, and they're out there. Well, think about it. Who's out there pumping and selling dope on the corners when everybody in the neighborhood is out cleaning up the block? Who's standing on corners when everybody you trying to duck and dive from is outside cleaning up the block? Yo, my man, you got to move. Right? So it's just, when you think about it, it's kind of logical.
Yeah. Now that you said it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
And when I heard about it 3 years ago, I was like, well, shit, we should be doing more of that. And then when Sherelle Parker ran for mayor, she was citing it on the campaign trail, like, yo, we got to clean up the city because clean blocks has less crime. And I'm like, oh shit, makes sense. So there's things that everybody can do. And finally, if you're on social media, it's okay to share something positive.
It's okay. Yep.
It's okay. Yeah. I know it ain't sexy. It ain't fun. You might not get no more than 5-10 likes. It's easy to post a girl fight and get 5,000 likes these days. That's easy. Do something hard for yourself. Do something. That's why I love that June month, because one, is Black Music Month, and that's the month where people graduate. I don't give a fuck about your little proms. That's the little cosmetic bullshit. I don't give a fuck about your prom. I give a fuck about seeing that cap and gown.
Right. Right.
More
Exactly.
on that.
Yeah.
Show me where your
You got
kids
people going
pack.
to the prom that ain't even graduated from high school.
Yeah,
They lit at the prom.
I
Yeah.
love
And
July
Hakeem,
and August. I love August and September for move-in month for college.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love to see that shit.
Right.
I love it. So
and
there's
the
things
part,
we can do for improvement.
Yeah. You gotta
yeah.
wanna do it though.
And I
You gotta
just
wanna do it.
celebrate my what? And
You said
y'all
what?
speaking about high school graduation. I went to my class reunion just last year. It was a 20-year reunion. Seeing folks I've seen classmates I've seen since high school.
Oh, you a
Everybody
real
was
old
happy
man.
just to have a good time.
I forgot you're an old man. 20
Hey,
years.
20
Dang.
years. I'm 80s child.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right
I
with
said,
you. Me too.
yo,
A long time since I've been in school. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
yeah,
all of that is good advice. And we have at the top of the hour, we always go over.
Well,
Any
let me knock
comments?
out these. Yeah, let me knock out these comments.
Mm.
okay.
Um, all right, Mike Grant. Peace, 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 brother. They had a shootout a few weeks ago at the pop up on King Sesson. Yeah, I heard about that, man.
That's in
That's
Philly?
crazy. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Messiah Collins. I'm sorry, Maisha Collins. Collins said it's all ignorance. It's all low vibrational shit. Um, Helanti Gates says peace, peace, peace. Was good.
That's good.
Um, yes, sir. Japan's
Yeah,
population are declining too. Yep, they sure are. We have to come together as a nation. Agreed. When this system reset, we will come to have a come together and start governing ourselves. I agree,
Mm.
and
yeah.
that's our comments.
Okay.
Uh, Finally, two things. One, HubNet turned 7 on August the 7th. So we will not be on air at the time. By the time we come back, we'll be 7 years old as a network. So happy birthday to HubNet.
All
And
right.
Hey,
and August the 30th, I believe. Nope, I'm sorry. Let me double check my notes here. August 16th, Shoebox Talk turns 7 as well.
All right.
The
We used to
show.
when we
yeah.
first started, we used to have the hands clapping. So I'm gonna have to clap because Hakim don't got that he don't got that hand
Uh,
applause no more.
Remind me. I keep forgetting to add it. Remind me.
Well,
Yeah, people used to like the applause. Yeah. Well, we some OGs. We've been around long. We was the first, a lot of people wasn't we was around before COVID. Before people started having
yeah,
podcasts and stuff like that. And so by the time COVID hit, we was already a couple of years in. So yeah, shout out
yeah.
to Hakim. We started together and we still rocking. We still rocking 7 years later. So and we couldn't do it without you guys. We appreciate all of the support and all of y'all listening throughout the years. Most of the people that's in our groups and on our platform been rocking with us for years, some from the very beginning. So we appreciate that, and we couldn't do it without y'all. Like really, a lot of our content comes from you guys, so we appreciate that, and
Oh,
we
Yeah.
celebrate that with you.
by the way, today
Yeah.
was the first episode broadcasting on our new YouTube channel for Shoebox Talk. So
Oh,
please
Ah,
go look for the Shoebox Talk show over on YouTube. And we also have been broadcasting this show on the HubNet online networks YouTube channel. So yeah, we're making some moves.
we making some moves. That's awesome. We appreciate that. Leave a
yeah.
comment if you stop in and listen to the show, or just say hi. Leave us a comment there. We used to have where you could call in, but we decided we could always go back to that one day. But a lot of people was rather leave comments and so on and so forth, and not dial a number to talk with us and be live. So whenever we got to interview somebody, or we have a show where we're going to have people calling in, we'll get back to that. But right now we bring the show to the people. I want to shout out CJ. Home Improvement. He's still doing his thing out there. This is one of our sponsors. We do have sponsors that roll with us as well. Classy Nail. They're if you want to get your nails done, pedicures done, they're just awesome. Matter of fact, I'll be in there later on today getting some work done. CJ is at 210-983-6956. This dude is he's literally almost building houses. He's in commercial real estate as well as what do you call it, residential, and everything. So from landscaping to plumbing to electricity, you name it, he could get it done. And then of course, Classy Nail. If you're in the city of San Antonio, 210-688-6811. These are our sponsors, and they roll with us. They listen to our show from time to time. And if you mention this show, Shoebox Talk, you'll get a discount. So,
Yeah, Shoebox Talk.
yeah, and that's
Darius,
it.
promote your
And
group.
Oh yeah, promote your group
okay,
before we go.
my group is for all the people that's listening. Is called Protesting for Major Changes for Now and in the Future. I posted information about Sonya Massey a week and a half ago. And if you want to join the group, and there's some news that's not in the national media, as what's going on in your community that's not being talked about, post it in my group.
Yeah, we'll get
That
it out.
and we get the
We'll let them know.
conversation rolling.
Show do.
And
We
we,
need to know.
if we, one of my friends posted a video from LA when an officer punched a black person while
Yeah,
he was in handcuffs.
that big
That was
old
one of my
dude.
Facebook friends. Yeah, one of my Facebook friends posted that. She tagged me on her page.
Uh,
I inboxed her. I'm gonna post that in my group, and I'll tag her for. I'll give her the credit. Her name is Kiki.
okay. Thank you, Kiki. Because
And
that was crazy. So you got to do a follow up. Because that dude, that big old dude, man, listen, that big old dude could have beat the crap out of that cop. Then we even had another George Floyd situation going on. He was dead ass wrong for that. I hope he got fired.
Hmm.
You got to give us you got to find out what happened to that
I'll
cop and let us know.
yeah, and for everybody else in Shoebox Talk, NFL season's getting with football season's getting back going. I will post uh preseason games, preview that, and because it won't be long to the regular season get kicks off in September. So get
Right.
ready for some new features.
I can't wait. I can't wait. All right, y'all. That's all we got for now. We'll see you next weekend. Y'all have a good, blessed, and safe weekend. And we'll appreciate your support.
Happy
All right,
birthday
take
up
care.
next.
Happy
Peace,
birthday.
y'all.